Hey everyone, I wanted to show you one of my most important tools that I use that keeps me in check from me becoming my own worst enemy by revenge trading or over trading. You see, I've been trading for over 5 or 6 years now, and I've learned a lot about myself during that time. I've learned that I'm very impulsive, and it's hard for me to make rational decisions when I'm in a emotional and frustrated state. All right. I know the rules. I know I shouldn't revenge trade. I know I shouldn't overtrade and things like that. But when you are in a frustrated state and you're facing large losses, all logical reason can go out the window, and you kind of have those screw it moments. And that's what I found myself doing a lot of the times. Now, I've had a lot of practice, and I'm usually pretty good about it, but every now and again, I'll sometimes just have that urge to keep trading. And I talk to a lot of traders that also have the same problems, and they ask me, well, how do you know when to walk away? If you're down big on the day, do you keep trading? How do you know to just walk away? Or if you're up big on the day, how do you know to walk away? Because a lot of traders, want to stay at their computer all day long, and they want to basically not to miss out on any opportunity whatsoever. That's a very bad habit to do, because you have to realize that as the day goes on, once the market is open, things start to slow down and it becomes a lot harder to trade. You see, most of the action happens within the first hour or so of trading. Okay, that's when most of the volume happens. That's when stocks are more liquid. That's when you'll start to see big moves happen. And then past that first hour of trading, things start to die down and the volume starts to get really low. Liquidity starts to become a factor. The volatility gets lower, so you're not going to get big, huge moves. So it's a lot harder to trade. Now, that's not always the case. A stock can move with big volume and lots of volatility at any point in the day. But statistically speaking, if we're talking about statistics, the best time to trade and where most of the moves happen is within that first hour. So it's a good habit to kind of tell yourself at 10:30 to either stop trading or kind of reduce your share size and have a little bit more caution and manage your risk a lot better. All right, because after that first hour, the environment starts to get a little more tough to trade. So that is one of my rules: is at 10:30 I stop trading. No matter what, if I'm up on the day, if I'm down on the day, I need to stop trading, because then I'm going to start getting into an environment where I'm less likely to make any money. Okay, I'm more likely to lose money because the environment is more tough to trade. Now, I have that rule, but not all the time do I follow it. What can happen is, let's say the market opens and within the first 10 minutes I take a trade and it's a big losing trade, and I say, dang it, I'm down big, I need to make that money back. And then I sit there and wait for an opportunity, and then 10:30 rolls around and I say, screw it, I'm going to keep trading. I need to make my money back. So that's when I start over trading and start trading in an environment that is less likely to produce results, and that ends up digging me further and further into the hole. And then I look back and I say, dang it, I should have just walked away when I took that big loss. All right. Now, I know it sounds silly, but when you were in that frustrated moment, it's very easy to say screw it. And, if you've been trading for a while, you probably have done that exact same thing. So I try to find a way to basically prevent me from ever going down that road. Now, sure, I can just walk away from my computer, but when you're frustrated, that little voice in the back of your head may say, just go back to the computer. Maybe there's something. Just look at the hot stocks, look at your scanners. Maybe something popped up. Maybe you can make your money back. I don't even want to have a chance for me to do that, and then basically for me to spiral out of control. So I needed a tool that will basically prevent me from opening up any new trades past a certain time. So that forces me to call it quits at 10:30, no matter if I'm up or down. All right. So the tool I use is called Simple Disable Key. It's a program that was probably designed for gamers. It's used to disable specific keys on your keyboard so that if you were to accidentally press it, it's not going to do some other function on your game and mess you up. And this is great for stock trading as well, especially if you use hotkeys. All right, so we'll show you how this works here. So this is the simple disable key platform. Now let me show you how I have this set up. I use hotkeys to make all my buy and sell orders, and I use an illuminated keyboard with certain colors that match what I'm trying to do. Now I have two keys to buy a position. Shift Z is to buy on the ask, Shift X is to buy on the bid. The white buttons are cancel orders, and then the red and orange buttons are sell orders. Now, what I want to do is basically prevent myself from buying any new positions past a certain time. So 10:30 is when I want to quit. I don't want to be able to buy any new positions. So I want these keys down here to be disabled. I don't want to disable my sell keys because let's say that I'm in a position at 10:29 a.m. and then 10:30 rolls around and then I'm suddenly locked out of these keys. I still want to be able to get out of my position, right? I still want to be able to sell my position if I'm in one, okay? I don't want to disable that. So I only want to disable me buying a position. So these are the keys that I want to disable. So how I do that is I click inside this little key box right here, and then I click the buttons that I want to disable. So we'll start off with Shift Z. So on my keyboard, I'm just going to click Shift Z, and that's going to check off this Shift box right here, add Z into this window. Then I'm going to click Add Key. Right now, you can do a couple different things here. You can set it to disable all the time, on a schedule, or for a program only. I choose on schedule and for a program only, because if I did on schedule, then Shift Z, let's say that I want to disable this at 10:30 a.m. and then have it go all the way to 8 o'clock because the normal market hours close at 4 p.m. But if I want to be prevented from trading post-market, then I would change this to 8 o'clock p.m. Right? So if I had this set right now for just on schedule, then Shift Z would be disabled for my entire computer. So let's say if I wanted to open up a Word document and I wanted to use Shift Z inside that document, it's not going to work. Okay, so I need Shift Z to only be disabled inside my Lightspeed broker platform. Right? So what I would do is click for program only, and then I can click this find window, drag this little target over into my Lightspeed program, let go of that, and then now Lightspeed is in this box. So what this is saying is that Shift Z is going to be disabled inside the Lightspeed program starting at 10:30, and it's going to go all the way to 8 o'clock p.m. And then I can choose specific days. Might as well just take off Saturday and Sunday since the market's not open there. All right, so then I just click OK, and now that is disabled, and the settings are inside this box. Now I have one more buy button, which is Shift X. This is to buy on the bid. So I want to be prevented from making any buy positions. So I'm going to do the same thing. Click Shift X. Make sure Shift is checked. X is in there. Click Add Key. Do the same exact thing. I want this key to be disabled starting at 10:30 and go all the way to 8 o'clock p.m. Choose Lightspeed. We'll check off that and then click OK. So now Shift Z and Shift X are disabled. I can't, since it's 11:15 a.m. right now, it's not going to let me use these buttons. Okay, I can't use these inside my Lightspeed platform. Now, you may be thinking, okay, well, you can just easily bypass that by using the mouse. Okay, I can just come over to my order entry window and I can just, I can buy it, market, type in the shares and all that stuff. The cool thing about this program is that I can also disable the mouse. Right, so I'll come up here to this tab, click mouse, and then add disable mouse options. I would disable the left and right mouse buttons, click OK, and do the same thing on schedule and for program only. Now, I would set this for 10:30 and then 8 o'clock right here, and then choose Lightspeed But we'll use this as an example. It's 11:16 right now, so we'll do 11:17 in 30 seconds, and then we'll have it go to 11:17 in 40 seconds, just to show you how this works. Okay, and we'll do find window. Now this is important because you want to do it for the specific program. In this case, it's going to be Lightspeed, because if you didn't have this, then your mouse would be locked out for your entire computer, and basically your computer is a brick. You can't do anything with it. All right, so you want to make sure that this is set for Lightspeed. All right, so this starts at 11:17:30. Well, let's change this to 18 so we have time to actually see it. Do 18. We'll do it for 10 seconds. Okay, so we'll click OK. Now, to save this and to make all this go into action, you need to click Disable Keys. All right, so right now, as you see, my mouse is working for Lightspeed, but here in 5 seconds, my mouse is not going to work for it. So 1 second left, and now my mouse isn't working. Okay, I'm trying to click this. It's not, as you see, I'm clicking, it's not working. Okay, and then here in 10 seconds it should work again. So now it's working. Okay, so that 10-second period that we set that disable key for, it's disabled my mouse for it. Okay, all right, now let me show you the function of the mouse, because if you have your mouse disabled for Lightspeed and you click inside the program, your mouse isn't going to work for any other program. You know, this is Trade Ideas, is completely separate. Actually, let me just open up a Word document. Let me show you what's going to happen here. We're going to go back to this. Let's edit this for 2 minutes. So we'll start this at 11. Let's say we'll start it at 11:20. Whoops, 23, and we'll go for 2 minutes, just to show you what I'm talking about. So we're gonna change this as an example. Starting at 11:23, Lightspeed is gonna have the mouse function turned off. So we'll click OK, click Disable Keys to save the settings. All right, so here in about 40 seconds, this function will stop. So I'm going to pause the video and come back once we get closer. Alright, so we got about 10 seconds until this kicks in. As you see right now, my mouse works. I can click, change things around. I can move things. So my mouse is working, and now my mouse should be disabled. So now I'm clicking, I can't do anything. Now this is a function that you need to be aware of, is that once you click inside Lightspeed, at first, all your other mouse functions are not going to work. I'm trying to click inside this Word program. It's not working, okay? So what you need to do is hold down the Alt key and then click the Tab key. And you're going to keep holding down the Alt key, and then you're going to click the Tab key until you come across a program inside here that is not your broker, so not the Lightspeed program. All right, so I'm just going to come over to this Word document that's not the Lightspeed, it's Word, and then I'm going to let go of Alt. Now I can use my mouse for this, okay? My mouse is working for all the programs, but as soon as I click back inside the Lightspeed program, it's not going to work. As you see, you know, my mouse is not working. At first, the Lightspeed program works for the first click, but after that it's done. I'm clicking, I'm not able to click. And then if I go back to the Word, I can't click inside the Word document. Okay, I'm gonna have to click or hold down Alt and then hit the Tab key until I come over a program that is not the Lightspeed program, and then now my mouse works again. Okay, now if you want to exit out of your program once it's locked out, you just simply click Control Alt Delete, and then go to your task manager, and then just shut down Lightspeed, and then now Lightspeed is done. Okay, so now that forces you to, at that certain time that you want to quit trading, you're not going to be able to get into your broker platform and start making trades. Now here is another important setting that you cannot forget. You may be thinking, well, what's stopping me from going back into here, going into the simple disable key platform, going in here and then just canceling all this, and then, you know, basically disabling all my settings that I have on here, and then go into my light speed and start making trades. This is what you need to do. You need to disable the mouse functions for this program itself. All right, so you'll go into mouse, add the mouse, click the left and right buttons, click OK, do on schedule and for program only. Just to show you how this works, we'll do it for 11:26. So here in about a minute, we're going to disable this. And whoops, actually we'll do, sorry, 27, and then we'll disable it for 30 seconds. So starting at 11:27 and ending at 11:27 and 30 seconds, we want this to be disabled. All right, so on this one, I come over to browse, and then I'll go to my program files where this simple disable key is located, and it's the application file simple disable key. So I click on that, click open. So now simple disable key is going to be disabled starting at this time and ending at that time. So I'll click OK and then disable keys. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to be locked out from your broker and tampering with your settings. So now I can't open disable key. I'm using my key, I'm using my mouse, I'm clicking, I can open it, but I can't make any changes. This is forcing me, so I am essentially locked out from everything. Okay, I can't open up my broker, I can't go and tamper with these settings, I can't hack you know, this stuff. I'm basically forced out of my broker, causing me to accept whatever loss or gain I have on that day. Now, of course, you can always go to a different computer and, you know, download your broker platform and then bypass all this stuff. But again, this is to help prevent you from getting too emotional and start revenge trading and over trading. So you also need to think of ways, you know, don't have an extra computer around, or really, I think at that point, if you need to bypass all this stuff, then, you know, trading, you know, it takes a lot of discipline. And if you find yourself, you know, going to another computer and you just can't control yourself, you're going to have a tough time trading the market, because you're going to have bad days, right? And it's just important for you to just kind of learn to walk away. So, you know, normally I'm really good at staying disciplined to know when to walk away, but this is just kind of like an insurance program. It's just there just in case, because once all this is locked out, that kind of tells me, okay, I'm done, all right? Now, one other thing that I do is I have all my settings set to be disabled starting at 10:30 a.m. I set an alarm on my phone at 11:25 to let me know, hey, we're coming up on that time. I need to start thinking about not taking any new positions, and if I'm in a position, start getting ready to know that my mouse and everything is going to be disabled, and only my sell keys are going to work. All right, so if I'm in a position, I know I can't use my mouse, I would have to switch over to my hotkeys, because I don't disable my sell keys. That's very important. Don't disable your sell keys, because if you are in a position and then all of a sudden you're locked out of your mouse and your keys, you still need to be able to sell a position. So sometimes that happens. I'll be in a trade starting, you know, at 10:30 when everything kicks in, and then I'll still be in a trade for maybe 15 minutes, but I can still use my sell hotkeys to kind of manage the trade. So it's important to you know, set up your hotkeys for those functions. All right. All right, so I wanted to go over the exact settings that I have so that you can maybe replicate, and you can change the times that you want to trade and all that stuff, but let me just show you my exact settings. So I'm going to remove all this, and first thing I like to do is do my buy key, so Shift Z. So Shift Z, add key on schedule for program only. I start this at 10:30, so I don't want to buy any new positions at 10:30 a.m. and it will go all the way to 8 o'clock p.m. I'll do I'll do it this way. I'll go to browse and then go to my program files, go over to light speed, open. So I got it there. Click OK to save that. All right, so now I'll do the same thing for Shift X. So I can click Shift and then just press X on here. I can do it that way. Then I'll click Add Key, do the same exact thing. Start this at 10:30. So 10:30 a.m. in this at 8 o'clock p.m. Come over to Browse, go to Light Speed, and then save that. Next, I need to disable my mouse for the Light Speed program. I'll start this at 10:30. In this at 8 o'clock p.m. So there's the mouse for the Lightspeed program. And the last thing I do is the mouse for this program itself. So I'm not tempted to go in and tamper this and kind of bypass all the settings that I use this program for. So I'll come over to mouse, hit add add mouse, and then click OK. Go to on schedule and for program. Now this one I set for 9:30 a.m. right when the market opens. And the reason why I don't start this at 10:30 is because I start trading right when the market opens, and let's say within the first 5 minutes I take a huge loss. All right, well, during that time where I take a huge loss, there's nothing really stopping me from, going back into this program and say, okay, well, I'm going to keep trading past 10:30. I'm going to cancel all this. So I start this time right when I start trading so that, if my first trade is a loss, I'm not going to be tempted to get back into this program. This is going to be shut off right when I start trading. All right, so I start this at 9:30 and I go all the way till 8 o'clock p.m. on that. And we'll go to Browse. I'll go to where this file is at. It's from 4Dot Software. That's who designs this. And then come over here to simple disable key. Click that. Click open. Got it in there. And then click OK. So that's the 4 settings I have. I'm locked out from using my hotkeys to buy. I'm locked out from using my mouse inside the Lightspeed program starting at 10:30, and then I'm locked out from changing anything as soon as I start trading. All right, now you can change the times to however you like. Sometimes I'll put a setting in here not to use my hotkeys or my mouse during pre-market because I don't like to trade pre-market. Sometimes I'm tempted to, but for me, I personally have it as a rule not to trade pre-market. If that's something that you need to have, you can add that in there. So really, you can design this to your specific trading plan and how you like it, but these are the functions that I have it set to. All right. That is Simple Disable Key. I put a link in the description that takes you straight to the download page. Check it out if you think that this is going to help. And I think it will because it helps me a ton, especially if you find yourself having problems knowing when to quit. This is going to help you kind of force yourself to walk away. All right. Thank you so much for watching.